everyone, Kaylee here. I wanted to talk with you about something that we get a lot of questions about. This is something that so many of our students face and is a big challenge for a lot of people, and that is test-taking anxiety. I'm sure you know that feeling. You've studied for your exam, you've gone to class, you are ready, you sit down, you read that first question, and your mind just goes blank. You know the answer, and you just can't find it. That is so frustrating, and I know it gets in the way of us doing as well as we could on so many of our exams. So we're going to talk about that today. I know you've probably read or heard people say things like study, always a good tip. Get a good night's sleep, make sure you eat a reasonable meal beforehand, and absolutely, those are great tips. I'm going to address just really the anxiety reaction and kind of how we can combat that. So what I have found helpful in dealing with this is to understand what is going on in the brain and in my body so that I'm then better able to recognize when it's happening and then to be able to execute some kind of plan to kind of calm it down so that I can perform better. Okay, so picture it. We are back in caveman days. We're one of our ancestors where we're not sitting at a desk all day, we're not doing math equations or writing papers. Really, what's going on for us is finding food and staying alive, all right? So you're out and all of a sudden there's a tiger. What do? Well, the first thing you probably feel is some kind of reaction in your body. You're scared. You may feel your heart beating, your heart's racing. You may feel like your fingers feel tingly or sweaty. You might feel all of a sudden just like an urge to run. You might feel sick to your stomach. Those things are all happening because your body is trying to protect you. It is trying to prepare you for something that you've probably heard of, fight or flight. Sometimes referred to fight, flight, or freeze, right? So what's happening? Well, your body is deciding what you need and what is gonna best serve you in that moment. So you need to be able to run. So your body sends blood to your big muscles, right, in your legs. Or maybe to fight. Maybe you've got a spear with you, lucky you. So maybe it's sending blood to your big muscles in your arms. If you ever had like sweaty palms, that's it, that blood, that warmth, that's all coming into your extremities, right? Which means it's moving away from other parts of your body. So if you felt nauseous or queasy or butterflies in your tummy, that's because the blood is all of a sudden moving away from your digestive system. It takes hours to digest food and convert it into energy. Your body says, we don't have time for that. We need energy now. We're gonna stop sending the resources to your tummy. We're gonna send them other places. Your heart is racing. It's preparing you for the physical exertion of fighting or fleeing, right? Well, this all makes a ton of sense if what you're up against is a tiger. But nowadays, we're rarely coming up against threats like that, right? Our biggest threats are probably fights with our parents or our significant others. Maybe it's performing well on an exam or writing a paper. Well, the problem here is that our brains haven't quite evolved to our new way of living and these new threats. So when we see an exam, we have that same fear response. We perceive it as a threat, and our body reacts the exact same way. And here's why that's problematic. What studies have shown is that people who are excited, so that can mean excited like happy, but it can also mean afraid, right? So when we have that sympathetic nervous system response, right? So my heart's racing, those sorts of things. They've shown a couple of things. First, your peripheral vision literally narrows, okay? So when you're calm, if you can see out to here, when you're excited or scared, it may be somewhere out here. Why is that happening? Well, again, if I am running away from a tiger or fighting a tiger, I don't need to be able to appreciate the aroma of the flowers around me. I don't need to be able to pick out the different hues in the sunset right? I need to be able to get going and run. So I don't need all this vision. I don't need my olfactory system to be up and running. I need to be able to fight. When we're taking an exam, that is the exact opposite thing that we want to happen. Our access to some of those areas, just like your peripheral vision, it literally narrows. Again, our body is trying to help us by allocating resources where it thinks we need them. But that means that it's pulling resources away from actually where we really need them on something like an exam. So we are less able to access areas of our brain, like memory, that we really need when taking an exam. Well, so that's all fine and good. But how do we deal with that? Don't worry, there is a way. So really what we need to do is send a message to our body that says, not this kind of threat. I got this. I don't need to fight or flee. I just need to relax so that I can access all of that information that I've stored in my memory so that I can perform well on this test. So the quickest and easiest way is to breathe. I know it sounds simple, just like study, but this really is the best way to tell your body that you're okay, you're not in any physical harm, and you really need to access those areas of your brain that are in charge of logic and reasoning and memory, okay? So taking really slow, deep breaths. That wasn't a very deep breath. I might be a little bit nervous myself in recording this video, but really trying to extend your exhale. So anytime you're breathing out, trying to take that and really breathe that, take a little bit longer with that. And trying to breathe into your belly instead of shallow up in your chest. So that is one way. Another way is to thank your body. I know this sounds silly. It's a little gimmicky, it's a little silly, but it's one way of just recognizing and identifying and naming what's happening in your body. Hey, I know you're preparing me for this, but I got it. I'm cool. Thanks, heart. I don't need you to beat that fast. Leg muscles, I'm good. I'm going to be sitting for this exam. Kind of recognizing, identifying, naming what's going on in your body helps us kind of calm down and bring that reasoning and logic and critical thinking area of your brain back online. Another way to do this, and this is sort of a more long-term thing, is to practice mindfulness. I'll do another video on mindfulness specifically, but just briefly, it enables us to, again, recognize what's going on in our body and be comfortable sitting with it and not kind of judge ourselves for that in the moment. So deep, calm breaths, recognizing what's going on in your body and that your body is really trying to help you, and having the confidence to know that you did study, that information is in your brain. You just have to calm down, relax, breathe, and all of a sudden you'll be able to access it again. I hope this helps a little bit. Like I said, I will do another video on mindfulness, but I will include a link to maybe some breathing exercises in the description below that I hope will help. Good luck on your exams, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.